Hey, welcome back. Tom Hart, Kyle Peterson, Chris Marler is only a few miles away here in Atlanta, but he joins us by the magic of television. Chris, before we talk a little college football, I have to ask, is your mom watching this morning?
So I was going to wait to the end to give Pastor Patty Sue a shout out. Follow her on Twitter. She has two accounts for some reason. But yes, my mom, the pastor, is up early. She said she set the DVR, so she probably actually isn't up, but she's back home in Lexington, South Carolina. She'll be watching this in an hour or so.
I don't know why a pastor would need two accounts. Here's Han Jun Yu to lead off. Are you familiar? You played Division II college baseball in Georgia. Have you been familiar with the KBO, and what do you think of what you've seen so far this morning?
Well, one, thank you for that very subtle shout out because I was a former star Division II athlete. I was not, but yes, I'm very familiar with it from a gambling standpoint because just there was COVID was going to keep a lot of things down. My gambling habits is not one of them. So I've been really getting into some KBO, not as much lately because we got the NBA and NHL playoffs, but it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
So Tom is always so good about literally the minute we come on the air saying exactly what the line was. The over-under in this one was 10 and a hook. Now, you have the advantage of 3 innings, but we'll still give you a chance to play the game. What do you got? Over-under 10 and a half.
Well, I'm taking the over always. Like life is way too short to bet the under, and it's not a fun game unless you're betting on runs scored or points.
I totally agree, and I make fun of Hart because he is captain under. He takes the under like every time that we give him the opportunity, except today because I screwed up and I took the under because the team that has 4 runs averages 3. So once again, I was wrong. But
that attitude, you're going to be wrong a lot. You got to fingers crossed. There's going to be some more runs scored here late.
Because fingers crossed is always a good plan. That one works.
Here's Zhang Bei at the plate. You notice that there are no fans in the stands. Let's talk a little SEC football quickly. You cover the league for Saturday Down South and all of college football. You are, by the way, an Alabama fan. I feel like we need to get that out there. What do you think? I know we had things announced for various schools already in terms of what they'll allow in terms of attendance. But all in all, do you think A, SEC football happens, and B, that there will be fans in the stands?
So, one, yeah, I'm glad you got the Bama fan thing out of the way because that is just one of my many flaws. But I think SEC football does happen. I think it absolutely does happen. I think the SEC and ACC have been kind of at the forefront of making sure that does happen. And the wait-and-see approach that Commissioner Greg Sankey has kind of taken, I think, has probably been the best move. We've seen the whole debacle that's happened with the Big Ten over the past couple of weeks now. So I think SEC football does absolutely happen. Now, the fans in the stands, I'd love to see it. I would love for people to be able to enjoy college football in person and all those kind of things. There's just nothing like sitting out in 90-degree heat in September and October and sweating through a overtime game. I will say I don't know why we necessarily need fans in the stands because any kind of added variable, they could come back to haunt us in the long run. I'm not the biggest proponent of that, but I love the fact that they're at least planning to have that.
Chris, give me top 3 college football venues. Don't necessarily have to be in the South, but I have a feeling they're going to be.
Say I'm a little bit biased. So top 3 for me, I'll say. Oh man, that's good. So I'll say both Death Valleys right off the bat. We got to go to Death Valley last year for LSU Auburn. Tremendous experience. It was incredible. And I'll say the venue for Death Valley at LSU is one of the top 3. But honestly, the venue outside of Death Valley and LSU is maybe better than the stadium inside. Like just the tailgating scene in Baton Rouge is phenomenal. The other one, this is not gonna go over well with my SEC fan base and stuff like that. But Clemson, South Carolina, the other Death Valley, that is one of the best in-game atmospheres I've ever got to be on. I got to go several games in the past with one of my good buddies, Bill Mayer. Shout out to him. We got to go to the Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Clemson, Louisville game a couple years ago. It was incredible experience. And the other one, I know you guys think I'm gonna say Alabama. I'm not. It's just I don't think it's one of the best in-game atmospheres. I'll say Georgia. Sanford Stadium. Mainly because being in Athens, Georgia for a fall Saturday is one of the best experiences you can ever have.
Ground ball to short, chance for 2. That's a 6-4 easy 3. Wow. Hey, Marler, it's kind of like Johnny Carson has invited you to the couch. We're going to let you stick around for another half inning. But when we come back, you better be funny. KBO rolls on this morning from Dejan, Atlanta, and Omaha. Chris Marler is our guest. Just a little bit of bookkeeping. Yusu John is a new pitcher in the game. But before we get back to the game, and the bottom third of the order due up here in the fourth, Chris is also, in addition to covering college football for Saturday Down South, a stand-up comic. So here's the deal. You got like 2.5 minutes just to go. Just do your thing. If you've got material, I mean, why not? We're here to be entertained.
You know, Tom, I really appreciate that opportunity because if there's anything I've learned about stand-up, it's that it really goes over well at 6:30 in the morning during a Korean baseball game. That's probably been some of my best rooms is when that's happened. I mean, I wouldn't say material, but I was thinking a lot this week, you know, about everything's been happening with Fernando Tatis and baseball in general. You know, the unwritten rules of baseball. Like, the unwritten rules of baseball, do we ever think that maybe they just weren't written because they're kind of stupid and they suck? I don't understand why, like, baseball purists get so upset about having fun. And, like, you know, I'll be honest, I think most of those rules were probably written in, like, the 20s and 30s. And, you know, I'll just say it. Like, I think baseball back then wasn't really that good. I was a very low-level Division II baseball player. I feel like I could have played professional baseball in the 20s and 30s. I'm just saying. And I know that's probably not a very popular opinion, but, like, you look at the best athletes back then. It was like Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth he was on a steady diet of just stale beer and carnival food his entire career and was, like, the best baseball player in the world. Because everyone he was playing against wasn't an actual good baseball player. It was like a guy named Horace, like, you know, who was like a butcher in the offseason and needed a second job. And was like, yeah, all right, I got a street lamp and I'll just whittle it into a 48-ounce baseball bat and go play this in this giant wool uniform they gave me. You guys like Scuffy McGee throwing a screwball. What is a screwball? I've never understood that at all. I guarantee you I could have played professional baseball. And it's not just that. I feel like I could have been successful, honestly. I was probably born at the wrong time because I could have been successful at anything in the, like, 20s, 30s, and 40s. Like, anything besides, like, manual labor and hard work. You know what I mean? Like, if I, like, a doctor, like, oh, you don't feel well? Drink an extra glass of milk, rub some cocaine on it. Like, I'm a doctor. Like, entertainment, like, Louis Armstrong, considered one of the best entertainers of all time. Louis Armstrong sounds like Coach O that went to art school. Like, I see Scott the blue. Anybody could do that, guys. That's all. It's not really material. It's just kind of a rant how I feel about I was born in the wrong generation.
Yeah, I think you were born in the wrong generation.
Horace gets dropped
that
here
Louis
in the
Armstrong,
fourth.
though, that's probably the peak of my entire entertainment career right there.
What is the feeling? Kyle and I are on live television, and we have a camera in front of us, but the game is the thing. So it's not, to me, real performance because the guys in the field are performing. We're just adding captions. What's the feeling when you get on stage in front of a live audience? And do you have nerves when you do that?
Well, Tom, I'm glad you asked because I've never considered you much of a performer or taken really what you do for a career seriously. I'm kidding. I think, you definitely have nerves because it's the fear of failure, I think, that drives you, which is, you know, I've been dabbling in failure for most of my life, so I think comedy is a perfect suit for me. But yeah, it's not just that because it's like if you're in front of if stuff's clicking and you're feeling really good, that's one thing. But the thing about comedy is, like, you know, the variables of comedy are a lot of times the crowd can kind of look like what's going on in this game right now. You know what I mean? If you're doing like an open mic Tuesday night at Limerick Junction in Atlanta, it's not exactly a packed house full of, like, comedy enthusiasts. It's like, you know, 7 people, and it's like wine night for some reason at this Irish pub, and people aren't there to listen to you laugh or make jokes. So it depends on what the venue is. It can be a lot of fun. But yeah, there's definitely some nerves involved. But I think once you get up there, it's a feeling I would say unlike any other. It's really exciting.
Okay, KT, so I just wrote down Limerick Junction. I'm going to go there next Tuesday for wine night.
Are you going to be in the stands, or are you going to try to go to open mic?
No. I'm just going to go there for the wine night. Yeah, right. I love going to Irish pubs for their wine.
Yes, that's generally what they're known for. Okay, so how do you handle heckle guy in the stands? The guy that thinks he's funnier than the guy that. Yeah, what do we do with him or her?
So what I try to do is I just think of like the golden rule, and treat others like you want to be treated. But since that person already crossed that line, I try to ruin their entire life in front of it, especially if they have loved ones with them. That's like you want to get right into them if they have loved ones with them. I love hecklers on stage. Where I hate it is social media. It's not the same. It's not the same feeling. But yeah, hecklers at a comedy show. It's just always fun when some kid, named like Landon, who like runs a steak farm his dad gave him, decides that he wants to start typing in some of his own jokes, and he's not suited for it. And it's a fantastic addition to the show. Usually, at least for me, that's one of my favorite things that happen in comedy.
My friend Landon just texted me. He's offended. See Juan No in the 9-hole now. Did you have any big winners when you were putting money on the KBO early in the season?
Well, my fiance is watching, so let's say yes. But the answer is no. I did not. Quarantine has not been great for my gambling bankroll. But yeah, I didn't have any big winners. I tell you what, the NBA, the NHL and NBA playoffs, that's been where the fun's at for the gambling stuff. The KBO, it was tough for me because, a lot of times I would place these bets at like 11 o'clock and then wake up the next morning and not really remember what I had bet on. So it kind of was like a fun Christmas surprise every morning. But usually it was like I got cold. I'll say that.
What's on the docket? Like who do we like today or tonight, I guess?
Ooh, so I'm gonna.
Or have you done your research yet?
I haven't done Kyle. It is 6:30 in the morning. I haven't been up this early since college. So, I will say I know one thing I'm going to bet on is there to be a goal scored first by the Vancouver Canucks tonight versus the Blues. I'm going to take the Blues money line because my boys, shout out Jeff Colby, all my friends from St. Louis, big Blues fans, Brian Randazzo as well. But yeah, I'm going to take the Blues money line. I'm going to take the Canucks to score first, because they've been doing that a lot this series.
Kyle just wrote that down. Here's Young Q Lee with 2 on and 1 out.
Canucks first.
Do I understand that you and your fiance recently bought your dog a Thunder jacket? And what exactly is that?
Ooh, Tom, this is next level broadcasting right now. And you've gotten all the shout outs that I was going to forget to say. So our dog Queso Corgavailoa, naturally, as a Bama fan, let's give Queso a shout out. We got the Thunder jacket. He's kind of a baby. And gets upset about the Thunder. And I thought it was just because he's a dog. My friends have recently told me it's not. It's because he's my son. And that rubs off, apparently, because I'm kind of a wimp as well. So we did get him a Thunder jacket. I did tell my friends that he only wears it when I play Garth Brooks Spotify. And I'll tell you who thought that was funny was no one. That was not a great dad joke.
You know what I love about this is somewhere, maybe on the West Coast, taking pizza rolls out of the oven, there's a comic that's way funnier than you. And he's asking himself, how did this guy get on ESPN this morning?
Yeah. Well, and if I could say one thing to that comic, I just want you to know, from one comedian to another, your dreams are never going to happen, okay? So just, you need to quit now. That's one less person in my way. I think you're already paying too much for rent. You might as well just get a job as a temp somewhere and just really ease into that Van Houston shirt lifestyle for the next 40 years, because you're not going to make it in comedy. That's the bottom line. It's just, I hate to say it to you, but that's just the facts. Statistically speaking, that's the facts.
You know who is excited this morning, though, are the 7 lucky souls that were at wine night at Limerick Junction. Because at this point, they're like, I knew it. I knew that dude was funny, and he is. He is funny. See, let's go back next week.
I appreciate that. Yeah, honestly.
If you had the Van Heusen shirt on your KBO bingo card, you can stamp that box, too. That's something I wasn't expecting, Chris.
Was that not a sponsor? I was trying to help you guys out.
Yeah.
It is now.
There it is.
Besides getting ready to gamble tonight, what else do you have coming for the rest of the day?
That's a full day in and of itself, but go ahead.
Yeah, I got a lot of research to do. I tell you what, Tom, I'm really looking forward to a nap. That's going to happen soon. I could go ahead and tell you that. Other than that, probably walk the dog. My boss is watching. I'm definitely going to be working and researching college football stuff to get ready for the season. That'll definitely happen. This will not monopolize the majority of my day, and time yesterday as well, overthinking the 45 seconds of comedy that I did. So I'll probably just get some work done, make some memes for the old Instagram, and get to gambling.
Some memes. Fire up the meme machine.
Yeah, that's honestly what I do for a living, if we're being honest.
You should take a moment, not to tell you how to live your life, but you have a great college football podcast that you do with some of your coworkers. Maybe you should take a moment to plug that.
Tom, I don't know what I would do without you on this broadcast right now, because I would have forgotten every person. I will say, if you guys are college football fans, SEC fans in general, even if you're not, I would appreciate if you guys listen. Connor O'Gara and myself, we run the Saturday Down South podcast. It's a fantastic podcast talking SEC football, get you ready for the season, all of those good things. We'll give him a shout out. And Saturday Down South as well. Follow us on social media. Follow us in the actual journalism form, and go read the articles and stuff like that. I don't write the articles because, as you can tell, I need way too much validation for what would happen with those. So, check out Saturday Down South. It's a honestly, all jokes aside, it's a dream job. I get to cover college football and make memes about college football for a living. And it's been a fantastic run. We can't wait for the season to start. And
you're on Twitter at Vern Funquist. At Vern Funquist. Yes. How did you decide on that name?
Well, so this is actually this involves you, Tom. It was between that and Claw Feinbaum, like White Claw Feinbaum, and I decided, you know what, this is last year at Media Days, and I was like, I'm going to go with Vern Funquist because that sounds better. Definitely follow Vern Funquist. You're going to love it for like a week before you unfollow me. So check that out. And like I said, check out one of my mom's Twitters, just Patty Sue or Pastor Patty Sue or Pastor Patty Sue 1. I believe is the other one. So check those out for sure. How time is over right now?
We're getting
closer. We're not there yet.
We're not
there yet.
But definitely follow that on Twitter as well. I appreciate that.
Why does a pastor need a burner account? Is she shadow following the congregation or talking trash?
I don't think she is, and we're not. I don't know, burner. It's probably something to do with the Book of Revelations. She's an incredible woman. She's an incredible woman. Pastor Patty Sue, she got on Twitter. I honestly think she just didn't realize she made two, because this has been brought up several times, and she's followed me twice. I think she just doesn't know how to delete the other one, because there's not like it's one for work. But she does these morning daily devotionals called Pep Talks with Patty Sue. It's a great way to start your day. It's a much better way to start your day than by listening to me talk about gambling and Babe Ruth slander. I'll say that for sure.
To each his own. Here's Kwon-Min Song at a 3-run home run in the third. It's a 5-0 lead for Hanwha. I think maybe Marler was the one that designed those Sammy Superstar uniforms with the calf-length boots.
It's a great logo.
And the cape.
Ooh,
cape.
Life is better with a cape, Tom. You know that.
Yeah, it 100% is. If we do see SEC football this year, I'm not going to even ask you about the West. Who do you have winning the East?
I think it's Georgia. It's honestly, I know there's a lot of people that had that trendy pick with Florida in the offseason, and I think Florida's going to be good. What Dan Mullen's been able to do there in 2 years has been fantastic, but it's hard to go away from Georgia. They're going to have one of the best defenses in college football over the past decade this year. They returned 9 of 11 starters from a team that was number 1 overall in scoring defense last year. So I think Georgia.
Chris, you're the best. Good luck to Queso the dog. I hope there's no thunder, and thanks for getting up early with us.
Absolutely, guys. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day.
Canucks to score first.